Well, welcome back to the channel, guys. We are back with Escalation League Round 2. So moving up to 1,000 points now. My opponent today is Harry. We're going to have a little grudge match from last time where he completely wiped me out at 500 points. So we'll see if I can do any better at 1,000. So we're going to move on to the armies and see what we've brought today. Alright, so today I've brought my Blood Angels, gone up to 1,000 points now. So a few differences from my 500 points, made some changes. So still keeping my Slam Captain, good old reliable, still with Thunder Hammer and Storm Shield. I'm using the new chapter approved points, so he has gone up a little bit. I've also brought my new Primaris Mephiston. He is leading up with his mass amounts of spells, so he's taken Quickening, Unleash Rage, Wings, and then he gets Smite as standard. Also brought Lamates as my third HQ, just for buffing all Death Company and keeping the charges re-rolling, especially if I've already paid the 1 CP for making my captain have the keyword as well. Making up my troop choices, I've got 2 sets of intercessors that are just bog standard, no real changes there, just as they come. 1 tactical squad with a heavy bolter, just for being able to throw the mortal wound shells if I do decide to do it, or just hold him back. And then in my elite slot, I've got 9 Death Company with 2 Thunder Hammers, 2 Power Swords, and then the rest are all Chainsword and Bolt Pistols. And then leading up my heavy support, I've got 5 Hellblasters, which have just been repainted, so are probably going to die instantly with new painted syndrome. So that's my 1,000 points. We're going to move on and see what Harry's brought. And you ready?
Okie dokes then, so my 1,000 points of Imperial Guards. So kicking off, I've got my Warlord, which is just a standard company commander with a power sword and las pistol. He has got Grand Strategist, so he gets a free reroll of just in general, and he also gets to give command points back in the 5-up, just my command points though. Moving over to my next HQ, I have got a Primaris Psyker. He's equipped with Psychic Barrier, Night Shroud, and of course Smite. Moving then on to my 3 troops choices of my battalion, I've got my 3 Bare Bones Guardsman squads. Did very nicely, can't blame them for what they do at 40 points a pop. Then moving on into elites to kick off, to finish off all the infantry, I've got 2 veteran squads. Quite happy with how the first one went in, so adding a second one should make them even more deadly. They've each got 3 grenade launchers and a single missile launcher team. Then moving also into elites, I've got myself a platoon commander with a bolt gun and chain sword. Single order, really useful. I've also had, thanks to Chapter Approved being very, very kind to me, I was able to afford a commissar. So he is just armed with the power fist and the bolt pistol. And then finishing off with all the tanks. So starting off, we've got Hellhound with Heavy Flamer, Inferno Cannon, and Track Guards. So Track Guards allow him to ignore the penalties in his damage characteristic for movement. So basically, with the auto-hitting weapons, he's just, you've got to kill him, otherwise he's going to continue being useful. Moving on, I've got a Liam Rust Demolisher, not a tank commander, just a basic Liam Rust Demolisher. He has got 2 multi-metal sponsons and the heavy bolter in the hull. Thanks to Chapter Approved making that a D6 instead of a D3, he's going to be horrid.
Mental.
I've then got my tank commander, as from the 500 point list. He's once again armed with the Hammer of Sunderance, so the flat 3 damage battle cannon. I've then got 2 plasma cannon sponsons and a las cannon. And finally, for a bit of artillery, and it means I've got the trifecta, I have got a Manticore. Couldn't quite afford 2 Basilisk, so it'll do.
Absolutely stunning army.
And that's 1k of guard.
Cool, so all the deployment done. I will be going first unless Harry seizes in a second. So I've chosen to be the attacker. So I've done it quite aggressively. I've deployed pretty much on the line because the way the game works, we score at the end of the turn, which is good. It means that I can cap quickly if I do decide to do so. Harry's decided he wanted to hide a little. There's a lot of dudes up in this one building. That's a lot of firepower and a lot of grenades coming my way. And then the Manticore hiding in the little background. One of the scary tanks is, of course, in the middle. And then we got a bit of screening. And then we have the other two just waiting to go. So Harry's going to try and seize. Let's see how he goes.
Do I actually want to seize those?
Yeah, do you?
I'll roll the dice anyway.
Yeah.
Probably won't.
No? Oh,
No.
Good.
That's fine.
Cool. So we're going to move on to Blood Angels turn 1 and come back after movement. Okay, so end of my movement phase. Did spend 2 command points to full on fully my Death Company, and with their extra movement, they have pretty much ended up in Harry's deployment zone, ready to go. I've kept Lamarty's back because they're so close to their charges, they won't really need him. I could probably do with the rerolls, but we'll see what I can pull off. Mephiston's moved into the building, and I've kept these guys back to cap a point because that means I'm sat on 3 at the moment, because I actually have got my captain hidden away down here, because I might jump them up at some point. I've kept the tactical squad and the Hellblasters back because they're both in good range. So we're going to move on to shooting and charges and see what is left after shooting. Alrighty then, so after a bit of shooting, I've managed to take out some veterans up here. I did just throw some plasma in their face and some other bolts. Mephiston pulled off his 2 psychic powers, so he does have wings, as well as he cast Unleashed Rage on the Death Company, so they have +1 to their attack. And the rest of the shooting didn't really pan out much. Took 1 wound off the Chimera, but we're going to go into charges now, so we're going to resolve charges in Overwatch and see where I end up. So with charges, Mephiston made it in over here, absolutely obliterated 90% of that squad, leaving 1 dude, and then the Commissar came in, decided he was going to try and punch him with a power fist, and Mephiston was like, nah, I'm just going to shrug that all off, making both of his 5-up feel no pains. The Death Company kind of murdered a Psyker. They thought he was Horus, so they wanted to make sure he was dead, and then 2 of them consolidated to wrap the tank, and then everything else went into the tank, leaving it on 1 whole wound. Probably made a mistake of not having Lamarty's in there for the rerolls, but at least it's wrapped. It's only going 1 way, and it's not shooting this turn, which is good. So we're going to move on to Guard turn 1 and see what the retaliation is.
Okay then, so end of Imperial Guard movement phase, turn 1. So the tank commander here has stayed still. It's got sight on the Death Company. It's also got sight on those tactical marines there, so he might try and kill Tom off the point there. The Hellhound has moved up its full movement. Once again, either going after the squad on the point, but also in range of his Inferno-Can against that Blob Death Company, just because I need to clear that out of my lines this turn, otherwise I'm in serious trouble. The poor Lemurus Demontra on its single wound has fallen back out of combat a whole 4 inches. The squad of guardsmen there have moved out, so everyone can at least see someone on the team, or see someone in the Death Company. Toon Commander has also moved to the conceived Death Company. This squad of guardsmen, which was originally around here, has pulled out so that a few more lasguns can once again see Death Company. Manticore stayed still. There were 4. The gap that was taken out by the Hellblasters has been plugged in with the rest of the veterans. And then finally, so that's the rest of the Guardsman squad. The Commissar has also fallen back out of combat onto the point. And that's the end of movement phase. Tom's killed my Psyker, so no Psychic phase, so on to shooting for the Guard. Okay then, so wrap up of turn 1 shooting from the Guard. Honestly, it's been completely a disappointment. I haven't been able to grab first strike just yet. Everything bar the Demolisher fired into the Death Company, and just whiffed, just completely whiffed. There are still 2 left. Tom did play the new Death Company stratagem, Refusal to Die, which it was well worth the 1 CP because the amount of 5-up saves he made was ridiculous. In terms of other bits and bobs, the Manticore managed to kill only one of the intercessors here, his Stormy rocket being a bit of a dud. The tank commander fired a hammer of sunderance into Death Company, and the plasma cannons and las cannon into this squad here to try and shift them off the objective. Unfortunately, only killed 1 again. Other than that, not masses, I suppose. Actually, the 1 crack missile from the veteran squad did take out one of the intercessors here. Other than that, though, nothing really happened. I will have to do some charges now, so we'll return in the charge phase. All right then. So end of Imperial Guard turn 1. So it's been all right. It hasn't been great. This squad of guardsmen did make it into combat and kicked down a Death Company Marine. He in return slaughtered 3 of the guardsmen. But yeah, that's the end of it. So I have lost 3 guardsmen from that, so I need to roll morale. So 3 + 2 is 5. I'm all good. I've killed. How many have I killed, Tom? Is it
8 Death Company. 1 left, so he's over his leadership, so he will be running. I'm not going to spend command points to keep 1 Sledgehammer alive.
Okay, and so that is. Does that count first strike then?
Yeah.
Yep, that counts as first strike. So that is a point to me. So at the end of turn 1, we're both at 1 point each.
Yep.
Brilliant. On to turn 2, Blood Angels.
Alright, a bit of a quick movement phase from the Blood Angels. My Slam Captain has used the Palm Wings of Fire to get over here, excuse my cough, to be within 9 inches of this little platform down here. Mephiston wasn't in combat, so he's zooped behind the Manticore, and Lamartes has got himself into a nice little charge position on the platoon commander. So we'll see what he does. So we're going to do shooting and then charges, because there won't be much shooting from me. And then we'll come back after the round. Oh, tactical turn from the Blood Angels. Captain and managed to get in here. He's done some real nice work on killing the Commissar, killing a load of guardsmen. Mephiston completely obliterated the Manticore. Luckily it didn't explode, but he's managed to hide himself into the ruins. Lamartes on the other side got in and absolutely obliterated the platoon. I can't even talk right now. Platoon commander, and is consolidated into the tank, so at least that has to fall back. So that's the end of my turn. I'm on 4 points now because I've scored. So moving on to guard turn 2.
All right then. So turn 2 for the guard. I've had to really have a proper think about this one. So, starting off, the Lehman Ruster Monster has once again fallen back out of combat, away from the Lamartes. This squad of infantry has pulled back a bit, so they've got shot on him, but are also within order range of the company commander who has stayed where he is. This squad of guardsmen has, once again, so they can see Lamartes as well. The one squad of veterans has taken the high ground, and the other squads drew the short straw and has taken the low ground. In terms of tanks, the Hellhound has pushed up to take on this objective, and this Lehman Russ here has got some line of sight not only on the intercessors, but actually might just be the intercessors at this point, unless. Oh no, you can see the intercessors, the other set of intercessors through the window, but I'm probably just going to go after that squad there. Okay then, so once again, no more sidekicks, so into the shooting phase. Alright then, so end of guard shooting phase. Once again, not great. The Hellhound only took off a couple guys, and then so the tank commander had to split his fire. Only killed another intercessor from that squad, but did with the plasma cannons finish off that denying Tom point. Guardsmen didn't do anything against Lamarty's and 2-up save. And then all the veterans pretty much piled into the Slam Captain, taking 2 wounds off him, which is nothing great, but at least it's something. We're on our way. Other than that, I've got a couple of charges to make, but that is it. On to turn 2 guard assault. Sorry. All right then. So our very successful charge phase for the guard. Oddly, so the veterans just jumped down from all angles onto the Slam Captain and actually killed him. So that has given me Slay the Warlord. I've also managed to tag in Mephiston. He absolutely clobbered 5 through, but at least now he can't run around and cause issues to the rest of the backline. So that has neutered the threat a bit. But there is everything else coming towards me, so we'll see. So at the end of that, I've got another point, and we'll move on to Blood Angels turn 3.
Here comes. Awesome. So, end of Blood Angels movement phase. I'm now on 5 victory points, thanks to having only capped 1. In terms of movement, the intercessors here ran up and advanced only 1 inch extra, but at least better than nothing. They're trying to get round to here. Mephiston stayed where he is. He's going to try some psychic powers in a minute. And Lamarty's has jumped all the way over here because he is now 6 inches away from Harry's Warlord. So we might try and slam him down. Over here, my Hellblasters, one's dropped down, so he won't be shot at, but at least he's capping. So that will score me a point at the beginning of next turn. So we're going to do my psychic and then shooting and see what happens. Alright, pretty good phase from the Blood Angels in terms of charges. Mephiston got in here, finally finished off all the veterans, and then got surrounded and took a wound from standard guardsmen. Lamarty's has got the Warlord down to 1 wound, so Harry is sweating a little bit. But in terms of everything else, there was no other combat, so that's the end of my turn. So we're going to move on to turn 3 Imperial Guard and see how they fare.
Okie dokes then, so end of turn 3 for the guard. The Liam Rush here finally will be able to shoot the shoot phase, so has stayed still because he is hitting on 6s at this point. This squad here has advanced and has daisy chained themselves onto the objective. They are also within range of the company commander just in case. The one squad of guardsmen here has fallen back out of combat from Mephiston. Or need to move those guardsmen out there as well, so I'll do that in a sec. The tank commander has stayed where he is, and the Hellhound has moved onto the objective, but also has some line of sight on those intercessors there. Other than that, I'm looking pretty thin on the ground for my guards, so we will do turn 3 shooting and see what happens. Alright then, so turn 4? Turn 3? Turn 3 shooting, sorry, for the Imperial Guard. Actually, so much better. What it should have happened a couple turns ago. So the tank commander here killed all the intercessors on that objective, freeing that up. The Hellhound in the end wasn't needed, so I am popping smoke on him. So he's -1 to hit. This squad of guardsmen here were ordered move from the company commander. Warlord's probably dead at this point, but at least they are now on that objective. Liam Russ hitting on 6s only caused 1 wound with a demolished cannon on this intercessor squad here, sorry. And this squad had a fair few shots, but didn't actually do anything to Mephiston. So that is the end. Going on to that's the end. So no morale for Tom. So on to turn 4 for new Blood Angels.
Okay, so Savage Echoes is a little bit overpowered. So all these just normal intercessors piled in, did a ton of attacks and killed all the guard in there. Mephiston dispatched the one tank that was over here, and then Lamartine decided to put 27 wounds on one single guardsman. Unfortunately, he did explode and not actually do anything. In terms of
we will say though, the guardsman did survive a bullet pistol in the face.
He did.
And then get turned into red mist.
Yeah. The intercessors over here, Hellblasters over here, annoyingly one blew themselves up trying to take out that Chimera in my backfield. So moving on to turn 4 for the Imperial Guard.
Okay then, so turn 4 for the Imperial Guard. This squad here have fallen back away from the Lord of Death. The tank commander has put on his reversing lights and turned to face Mephiston. And then finally, the Hellhound has tucked in as far as he can away, so he can't be shot at those intercessors there. Other than that, we're all good. So on to shooting then for the Imperial Guard. Alrighty then, so end of shooting phase for the Guard. Tank commander did his job. He's dead. Job done. Okay, that's the end of the shooting phase. On to turn 5 for the Blood Angels.
End of Blood Angel's turn of shooting and charges, because there's no charges to be made. Hellblasters took a pot shot at the one Chimera, took it down to just 1 wound remaining. At the end of the turn, I am on 10 points. So turn 5 for the Imperial Guard.
Okay then, so end of turn 5 shooting for the Guard. Tank commander did his job. There was a nice clean shot through the centre of the cathedral. Using everything, he did cause 2 wounds himself, but fired everything at them and took out that squad. So that is it. On to turn 6 for the Blood Angels.
Oof, I had to take a bit of a Hail Mary there. So Lamartine jumped out of cover under here and shot over here. Managed to make a 10-inch charge with the +1 to absolutely annihilate this Chimera, which did explode, but then he did shrug it, so he's absolutely fine. And he has managed to keep himself completely concealed now, so he won't get shot at next turn. So go on to turn 6 for the Imperial Guard. Okay, so a bit of a Hail Mary going on. So the tank commander couldn't get into a position where he could see Lamartine. He's also fallen back, so he's still within 3 with the guards, so they can't get shot at by my intercessors that are hiding. But the tank commander has gone full throttle across the board. I think Harry's hoping that we go to turn 7. So on a dice roll of it's battle length, so on a 4+, we'll go to turn 7. So it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 4.
Yeah.
Cool. So on a 4+. Oh, 3. The game ends in a draw. Oh, what a game. Brilliant game, bud.
Well played.
Bro, so yeah. So make sure to keep up with the channel, because we have got the rest of the Escalation League now dropping weekly. And it'll be game upon game upon game for the next couple of weeks. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and check out the Instagram page as well for all the upcoming information.